Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep, really deep, into Jessica Simpson's memoir, Open Book.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we've got some excerpts that you, the listeners, sent in from the You're Wrong About podcast. So really good stuff to work with here.
Looking forward to it. I think Jessica's story, it's really personal, but it also kind of captures that whole pop culture obsession, especially like late 90s, early 2000s.
Such a specific time, right? Like so much has changed.
Yeah.
But then again, so much is still the same.
Right?
So, okay, before we get to all the like pop star stuff, let's go back way back to her childhood.
Okay.
She grew up as a preacher's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lots of moving around. And often like sharing their home with people in need, even when like her family wasn't doing that well financially.
Huh. So kind of a contrast there, giving even when resources are scarce. It says a lot about the parents, I guess.
Definitely. And then, she reveals this pretty heavy trauma. Yeah. Sexual abuse starting at 6, just awful. Kept it secret for years.
Wow.
Yeah. Affected her sleep, anxiety, all of that. And her relationship with her body too.
Makes you think about like how these early experiences, they stick with you.
They really do. And for her, music became this outlet, right? A way to express herself.
Interesting.
Yeah. Especially because she actually had a stutter when she was younger.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So music was like this way to communicate, even when words were hard.
Powerful. Really powerful.
So that leads us to the Mickey Mouse Club auditions.
13 years old.
Oh, wow. Young.
So young.
Already being compared to Britney Spears.
Oh, of course. That whole era.
Yeah. Imagine that pressure. And her parents, they were initially hesitant about her, showing her body, beating the spotlight like that. But then they kind of went all in with this whole pop star thing.
It's always tricky, that parent-child industry dynamic, especially when they're so young.
Totally. And get this, she took acting lessons from Chuck Norris.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously. And he was all about, like, not moving your eyebrows. Can you believe that?
That's a unique acting tip, like the opposite of expressive.
Right. So strange. But then, she gets rejected from the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They literally changed how many people they accepted just to not take her.
Ouch. That's harsh.
Brutal. But, and this is where it gets interesting, that rejection, it actually made her parents even more determined.
Double down.
Exactly. They're like, okay, we're going to make you a star anyway. And that's where this whole sexy virgin image starts to, like, take shape. They're pushing her towards this persona she's not really comfortable with.
Yeah, I can see how that would happen. The industry kind of creates these images, and it's hard to resist, especially when you're young and, like, everyone around you is saying this is the way to go.
And that disconnect between the image and how she really felt, it's a big part of her story. She's dealing with all these body image issues, crash diets, even faking abs on stage.
It makes you wonder, right? Like, what are we as consumers doing when we buy into these images? Are we part of the problem? It's like, that's such a key point. And it gets even bigger when we look at her relationship with Nick Lachey.
Right, from 98 Degrees.
Yeah, him. Suddenly her virginity is like national news.
Can you imagine? Like, that's your private life, and it's just everywhere.
It's like they're not even people anymore, just like characters in this public drama.
Totally. And it sets this pattern, right? This thing where her personal life is just consumed, exploited.
And then it happens again with John Mayer.
Oh, boy. That whole thing. It's a mess. A beautiful, messy mess.
A real roller coaster.
Total roller coaster. It's like the classic bad boy thing, right? He's charming, attentive, but also like undercuts her confidence. Uses their relationship for his music.
It's a power dynamic thing too, right? He's got the upper hand, controls the narrative, and with the added layer of fame, it magnifies everything.
And the timing of their breakup, it's brutal. The day she's supposed to perform at the Kennedy Center.
Oh, I remember that.
He sends her an email, like, that day. And she melts down on stage, forgets the words to 9 to 5 in front of Dolly Parton.
Oof. Talk about pressure.
It's so cringy, but also, like, you kind of feel for her,
It humanizes her, right? You see the person behind the persona, the cracks in the facade.
Exactly. And then, thank goodness she finds country music.
Ah, yes. A different vibe.
It feels more real, more authentic, like she can finally be herself.
Shedding the pop star skin.
Exactly. And then there's the mom jeans incident.
Oh, Lord. The paparazzi.
Ruthless.
They're brutal. But she owns it. Doesn't apologize, makes a statement.
Body acceptance.
Right.
In your face media.
Powerful, so powerful. And then she starts dating Tony Romo.
The quarterback.
Yeah, and he's like super religious, no kissing before marriage. Whoa. A curveball.
Total curveball.
Yeah.
And he's like serious about it. Won't even let her take acting roles with kissing scenes.
Wow. That's a commitment.
A big one. Creates all this tension, obviously. And then it implodes spectacularly.
How so?
So he gets suspicious about John Mayer, who for some reason is showering at her parents' house.
Wait, what?
I know, right? It's weird. So Tony snoops through her phone, finds an email from John about a broken shower door, and accuses her of cheating.
Oh, no. The classic miscommunication.
Total miscommunication. She tries to explain, like, no, he's just a weird ex who's, like, oddly close with my parents. But Tony's not buying it. They break up.
Drama.
So much drama. And the kicker is, Tony instantly regrets it, tries to get her back.
Too little, too late.
Exactly. She's moved on, learned her worth.
Good for her.
Right. She wants respect, trust, not all this craziness.
Healthy boundaries.
Exactly. And then, just when you think she's finally free of John Mayer, he pulls her back in, invites her over to listen to his new album, says he's written songs about her.
Oh, come on. Classic manipulation.
So manipulative. And when she's like, are these songs really about me? Weren't you dating Jennifer Aniston? He says he could never find material to write with her.
Ouch, that's a low blow, using creativity as a weapon.
Brutal. But she stays with him for another 3 months.
It's hard to break those patterns, even when you see it happening.
It really is. And then, the real kicker. John Mayer does an interview with Playboy, tells everyone everything, calls her sexual napalm, brags about how she made him want to quit his life.
Seriously, that's just gross. No respect for her privacy at all.
None. And of course, she's the one who has to deal with the fallout. Every interview, it's all about his comments.
It's always the woman who gets the brunt of it, right? The double standard.
It's awful.
Yeah.
But this is the final straw. She cuts him out completely, changes her number. Done.
Finally, cutting the cord.
For good. She's done with the bad boys. Ready for something real.
Something healthy, maybe even a little boring.
Maybe. And then she meets Eric Johnson, former NFL player, at a friend's wedding. It's different. No drama, just like a genuine connection.
Sometimes it happens like that, when you least expect it.
Right. They fall in love, get married, start a family. She's happy, finally. Steps back from the spotlight a bit, focuses on family, her fashion line.
Finding fulfillment outside of Hollywood.
Exactly. But the story doesn't end there. At Disneyland, a fan mistakes her for Britney Spears.
Oh, wow. That must have been something.
It is. Because, she's always lived in Britney's shadow. Those comparisons have followed her forever. But this time, it's different. The fan, realizes her mistake and comes back later to apologize. And get this, she wants a photo. But not with, Britney Spears. With the real Jessica Simpson.
That's a really nice moment, full circle. She's not that manufactured image anymore. She's just Jessica.
It's like all that pressure, all the craziness, it finally fades away. And she's just there, comfortable, herself.
It makes you think about how we, put these people in boxes, Pop princess, good girl, whatever.
We simplify, right?
Yeah.
We make these narratives, and we forget they're real people.
Exactly. Jessica's book, it really shows that. How vulnerable she is, the addiction, the abuse, the self-doubt.
It's like she takes down that wall.
Yeah.
The celebrity wall. And you see the person behind it.
Human, just trying to figure things out, like all of us.
And it makes you wonder, are we part of that?
Yeah.
Do we create these boxes with the gossip, the reality TV, social media?
It's a good question. We consume it, right? So we're part of the cycle.
We are, but we can also change it by remembering their people, seeing the whole person, not just the headlines.
Empathy, that's the key. And critical thinking too, not just accepting what we're fed.
Right, questioning the narrative. So Jessica's story, it's not just about fame. It's about finding your own voice, rewriting your own story.
Even when it feels like the world's writing it for you.
Exactly. It's about resilience, self-acceptance, vulnerability.
And those are things we all need, whether we're famous or not.
It's so true. It's a reminder that we all have our own stories to write, our own paths to find.
And that those paths, they can be messy, they can be complicated, but they can also be incredibly beautiful.
Exactly. And, hopefully this deep dive into Jessica's story, it's giving you something to think about, something to take with you.
I think it has. It's a powerful story and an important one.
It really is. So until next time, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.